Rob?
Hey everyone, I wanted to put up this little intro video. What you're about to see are two videos that I started to do with my old backdrop, my white backdrop that I've used for quite a while now. And as you can see behind me, I've got a red backdrop that I recently just put up. And the 0 Year Batman that you just clicked on, the video will start with it being white, and then I ended up filming the rest of the 0 Year Batman on the white background, but my lights started doing something funky, so I had to change new bulbs, and I went to a 3 lighting system where things got to be a lot brighter. And in that time I had bought this red material to do my figure reviews and different things that I'll review to change the background color. And I really liked it so much during the test footage I did that I just really wanted to get right into the reviews. So you will see both Batman and then the Hugo Strange review are both done. The first part of the review with the showing you the box will be done with the white background, then it'll transition into the red background that you see here. So I kind of wanted to let you know that was coming. All of a sudden it just goes to the red background. But this will be the new look for Rob's Rogues. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this new color. I really like it. I think it brightens up the palette quite a bit, and hopefully nobody's having seizures because it's so bright and red. But I thought it really kind of showcases off the figures. I thought about going with black, but I've seen some other people do black, and I didn't want to. I kind of wanted to set my own path, as it were. So hopefully you enjoy this. So we will get into the 0 Year Batman review, and then the Hugo Strange review will be after that. So we'll see you guys in the review. Bye. Hello everyone, and welcome to Rob's Rogues in the Batman universe. Today we're taking a look at the DC Comics designer series, the Grey Capullo line. This is figure number 9. It is 0 Year Batman. At the time that I'm filming this, I just recently uploaded the Lex Luthor video for my Farewell Mattel series that I'm doing right now, and I still have 4 other Mattel things behind Lex Luthor. So I may have a little bit of ants in the pants and get this guy in the middle of the Mattel set of reviews, or it's even going to be later by the time this review comes out. I know a lot of people have already reviewed this guy already, so I guess it doesn't matter when I put the review up, but I kind of wanted to get him out of the package. I thought, oh, I'll just wait till my Mattel series is done, and I'm like, I just want to get him out of the out of the package. So the package is exactly the same for the rest of the Capullo series. I like this designer series box. I'm really kind of hoping we get a Patrick Gleason designer series. That would be the artist for the Batman and Robin title. And there's going to be a Jay Lee series, so it's really cool that DC Collectibles is branching out into the artist series realm for the action figures. We'll get a lot of mileage out of Batman and hopefully Robin action figures. You can see the 0 Year off to the side. I'll explain 0 Year for those of you that may not know, like, why is Batman wearing purple gloves? I'll explain that once we get into the figure review itself. There's an image from the 0 Year storyline. Basically, this is Batman's first year, and I'm going to say it right now. The purple gloves are in reference to the 1939 Detective Comics first appearance of Batman, that he did have purple gloves. So there's a bit of a nod that this is, as far as the New 52 goes, this was the first bat suit that Batman created before getting into the normal New 52 suit that we've seen. The other figures in this wave, and there's only 3 released in this wave because they held Two-Face for whatever reason, but the 0 Year Batman, Commissioner Gordon, Batgirl that I almost picked up, but my Rogue Show co-host said, hey, get 0 Year Batman instead. So there's Batgirl, which I will eventually get her because I think she might just be a little bit better than the one I currently have from DC Collectibles. And then Two-Face, as I drop the package here, like I said, he was saved for a later release. I think February. That he should be coming out. So that is the package. Let's get this guy opened, and as far as you know, the review will happen right away, but I'm not going to film the figure review right after I open this. that's just how it's going to be. So we'll be back in just a second. All right, we've got 0 Year Batman out of package, and what a great looking figure. This whole entire line from DC Collectibles, the designer series from the Greg Capullo line, they're really pulling out all the stops as far as detail goes and the way that the figures are sculpted. Right now, I think it's really one of the premier lines from DC Collectibles. We're getting a Jay Lee Batman Superman line, and I know there's going to be a couple other designer series figures probably coming out in this next year of 2015, but just a great looking figure. And I think I've said it before, it's like these figures have jumped right off the page of DC Comics. So I can't say enough good things about how these figures are sculpted, and I know that some of us, hey, look at that, I found my Batarang that I thought I lost. I'll get into that in just a moment. But just the way that they're sculpted, I know that we talk about articulation with DC Collectibles, and I think they're really making strides to make sure that these figures, the articulation is getting better. Yes, some figures do have have articulation that others don't, and some probably should benefit from a waist swivel and different things here or there, but just as a whole, I think this designer series is just a great set of looking action figures. Each one that I have in my collection I am very happy to own, and just kind of flipping through the pages of the comics that these figures are taken from, it really feels like they just plucked them right out of the issue. But 0 Year Batman right now is probably one of my favorites in the line, just with the way that he looks. And I like Capullo's take on the Detective Comics 27 1939 version of Batman that this one is, you know, loosely based on, with the purple gloves and the kind of not refined suit that Batman would later wear. The Bat logo is a little bit different, and then we have like the Kevlar body suit kind of markings and knee pads. In the early parts of Detective Comics, Batman did have a gun, but it was actually a real gun, but later they dropped it because they thought, well, with Bruce Wayne's parents being killed by a gun, Batman probably wouldn't use one, so that just kind of got omitted. But 0 Year gave Batman a gun, but it's his grapnel gun. So at least it kind of represented with that, instead of, you know, Batman having it in his utility belt, they designed it, the suit, to have it on his side like a regular pistol would be. So really kind of cool. He does come with a couple accessories. We'll set Batman up here just a moment. Comes with a grapnel gun. When I first looked at it, I thought there would have been a piece that you could have put inside there that would have the spikes of the grapnel, but it doesn't. But still, it's done rather well here. It looks pretty good. Not much detail to it, but the handle is kind of etched in there, but you can kind of see. So again, really pretty cool. He does come with 2 Batarangs, and let me tell you, they are tiny. I thought I dropped one on the carpet. He can't hold on to these at all. The figure number 1 in the Capullo series could hold on to them, but this one cannot. So you can see where a little tape was from inside the box. And originally I thought, well, he could have been put in between the knuckles like the Series 1 Batman, the traditional Batman, but they do not fit. He does come with an alternate hand that can hold the grapnel gun, which initially I thought, okay, that'll fit inside there, but they don't, it doesn't fit at all. I mean, you could kind of get it to set in there. The fingers are tight enough, but just the slightest little bump and this sucker goes flying. So you could try and double 2 of them together, which I don't know. Okay, I tried to get them in there. Yeah, it's virtually impossible to get them in there. You saw you can kind of get one, but I think you're really asking. So I have lint all over the place because the tape got it really sticky. But trying to get it inside that finger was just a pain in the butt. So cool that we got batarangs, but it does not work too well. So the hand can hold on to this. Let me back this up just a little bit so we're not zoomed in so crazy. Kind of got to pry the hands apart or kind of feed it down through. Now this is the hand I will have Batman with, just so I could pose him with the grapnel gun. So the hand is removable, obviously. Just kind of twist and pops right off, and the other hand pops right on. Very easy. So we can hold on to the gun. Again, it would have been nice to have the batarangs. Maybe make just a larger size batarang. I think that would have worked a lot better than these teeny tiny ones. And when I shut the camera off, I did drop one on the floor, and I have a dark green carpet, and it took me 2 or 3 minutes to try and find it. So I appreciate the accessories, but if we can't physically put them somewhere, you're just asking for these to drop. But still cool nonetheless. We couldn't have gotten, that's an intelligent sentence. We couldn't have received any of them, so maybe if I build like an armory, I can just have them on like a table for a display. Let's take a look at the articulation on this guy. And he's articulated just as much as the Series 1 Capullo Batman figure would be. You can tell his ears are a little bit larger than Series 1, and I'll bring him up in a little bit. Head is on a really nice ball peg, and you can get some great articulation out of the head. He can look way up, which is really nice. Can look down very, very well. Probably the most articulated head out of the bunch so far, I think even more so than Series 1 Batman. The face, again, some people don't like the face, but if you're a fan of the Capullo art, this is kind of how he drew him. Maybe the bottom lip is a little too big, but again, it literally looked like it just comes right off the page. The arms are the ball and socket here. They don't quite go up to 90 degrees, but they go up enough for posability. They go all the way around. Swivel at the bicep. Single bend at the elbow. Does turn at the wrist, and again, this wrist glove does come off. Has a really good ab crunch. Turns at the waist. Again, I think most of these figures should turn at the waist. The T-jointed legs, or the clear ball peg, which I think now this one is actually black. So they've kind of gotten away from the clear pegs in the middle. But they don't go out as far. I think the Series 1 did happen to go out a little bit farther. It does have the upper thigh cut. Double bend at the knee, which is always a plus. Swivel at the boot, and then hinges at the lower part of the boot. My ankle hinge is a little bit on the loose side. It's not horrible, but again, still such a good figure. Let me get this guy to stand up a little bit more properly here. Alright, what we're going to do, we'll bring up Series 1 Batman and compare him next to 0 Year Batman. And here we are, we have 0 Year Batman with a Series 1 from the Capullo series. And this Batman, if you remember from my review, his left leg is a little bit shorter for whatever reason, so it looks like he might be leaning just a touch, but I figured a way to get him to stand almost perfectly straight. I still kind of want to replace this guy. But the 0 Year Batman is a touch taller. Again, if he was standing perfectly straight, their body builds would be the same size, but the ears on the 0 Year Batman are just a little bit, or actually quite a bit taller, so it does make him seem that he is a little bit taller. And of course, we can't have the 0 Year Batman without the Riddler. Now this one, the Riddler isn't actually technically the 0 Year Riddler. His mask and costume are a little bit different. This is more how he looks right now currently in the comics. But the two look really good together, and as the Riddler was the main antithesis of the 0 Year story, these two do look very, very good together. Now, the cape on this guy, I did want to show you. It is split in the middle, so it's not a factory error. It's not like it was supposed to be together. I'm trying to remember in the 0 Year comic if it was in fact split. It might have been initially in some of the early parts of the story. I don't quite remember seeing a lot of pictures of the back of Batman, or even just kind of from the side or the front, seeing if it was split. So if it was, I think by the end they went away with the split. But as far as the action figure goes, it is part. It is supposed to be there. All right, final thoughts on 0 Year Batman. Another great figure from DC Collectibles. The articulation is really good for the most part. Again, there's just a few little hiccups here or there, but just a beautiful figure to look at. And it's one that I'm trying to decide, am I going to have the main Batman be up front or the 0 Year Batman be up front? So it's always a fun thing to decide which figure is going to kind of lead the front of your shelf or lead the back of your shelf. But just a really cool pickup, and one that I'm glad that I did, and one that represents the 0 Year storyline 100%. So today we've been taking a look at the 0 Year Batman from the Greg Capullo series from DC Collectibles. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the Batman Universe signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.